the final product of a room I've been planning for almost 3 months. It's more of a contemporary vibe, and it's definitely an improvement on his former room's look, with a cool gray to give a mature tone and some vibrant yellow accents and natural wood to warm up the space. This is probably one of my favorite room makeovers. This friend and I go way back, and I know that he wants a new space to lounge around in with his friends and be able to really kick back in an office/game room. For the sake of privacy, I have decided to keep my friend anonymous, but just so you all know what the design concept we were going for, I was trying to stick with a chill vibe with an emphasis on Japanese cultural items and anime figures. My friend loves collecting all kinds of figures from anime shows, games, and anything else in between. If it has a large cultural or niche following, likely he has it. And he really likes the city-like vibe of Tokyo Night. Unfortunately, there was a problem with that. We wanted to stick with a budget when it comes to his room redecorating. Because of that, we decided to throw out my more ambitious plan of turning this into a Tokyo Night and into just a mature space of gray natural wood tones in the color yellow, where he can display his figures, work, and watch TV with guests. I'm gonna be a little bit honest here. The state of his room was exactly that, a state, and not a good one. It had some wear and tear, dented walls, dust everywhere, some nails damage, and some other things that come from an older home, which meant we needed to get some spackling done to repair the drywall, cracking, and chips. Once that was finished, we needed to figure out what paint color to choose. We chose the BEHR Paint color Cathedral Gray, and for the trim work, Polar Bear. It took about a good 6 hours and getting an extra white paint can from our home to paint the ceiling, because even that needed to be repainted to get it all and make the room a brilliant new canvas. Once we got that done, it was time for us to get ready to go furniture shopping. Certain pieces were already taken care of, like some of his display cases, TV stand, and bookshelves that he had already owned. But I knew he needed a new desk, sofa, and some other smaller pieces of furniture, like a coffee table. So to stick to our budget, we needed to find pieces that were friendly to our wallets. Places like IKEA, Target, and Wayfair were some of the places that we looked at, and if you're interested in any of the following, I'll put links in the description down below. For now, let's go piece by piece. First, looking at his new sofa. His sofa is a bit of a weird story since the room is so small. I needed to place it on the wall closest to the door, which is strange since you would think you'd want it closer to the TV over here. But because we couldn't get the sofa closer without crowding the TV stand, we had to place it on the opposite wall. And what do you know? The sofa actually looks great and didn't cost too much either. The pillows, throw blanket, the rug, these shelves, and finally the desk surface are all from IKEA. I mean, it is the place to go to get cheaper household furniture and essentials, so why not use it? And to be fair, the pieces feel really nice for not a whole lot, so that makes this all the more beneficial. And speaking of that desk, let's focus on that for a minute. This one piece was more of my husband's doing than mine. My friend was really interested in one of those standing desks that my husband has, and so Jimmy was kind enough to get him a pair of standing desk legs with only a desktop missing. We were originally going for a butcher block countertop, but those are pretty hard to find with the shortages and can be very expensive. So we got ours from IKEA. This is the Vrena, a countertop that you can get for $109 and use in the kitchen, or in this case, a desk. This is actually made of wood veneer, but with how it looks and its texture, it can really fool you into thinking it's wood. And with it on top of these legs, it makes the desk look so premium. On his desk, you may notice his monitor arms and dual monitor setup. We ended up using some of his budget for the arms and one of the monitors to give him a more functional desk for working, gaming, and, well, just web browsing. On the window is probably my favorite thing about this room, a window blind. But not just any window blind. This is the Faedo by IKEA, which is actually a wireless automated blind that you can buy for the low cost of $154. Now, that may seem like a lot, but keep in mind, I have only one motorized blind set in my home, and it costed me an extra $400 just to have a motorized feature added on to its original price. So the Fjorter is great for someone who just wants one blind set or a couple of them. There are some downsides to it, as it only comes in one colorway, which is gray and only extends 76 inches down. So if your window is longer than that, then this may not be an option for you. Plus, it's a blackout curtain, which is great for my friend who needs it to make sure his figures don't get any sun damage. But if you wanted a nice amount of sunlight, this blind set is unfortunately not going to allow that. But I will highlight its key feature, which is its automation. With a click of a button, it can go up or down. In combination with the IKEA Trad-Free hub and a smart home assistant, you can actually connect the Fjorter to it and ask your assistant to open or close the blinds. Just the little things that can make your room feel that much more premium. On the TV wall, we've arranged his older furniture over here where he can display his vinyls, figures, and of course a TV for entertainment. We mainly just recycled his furniture pieces here, and as you can see, they blend in well with the space. On the wall closest to the door, we've added these Fjallbo shelves from IKEA as additional space for his figures, more specifically his larger ones. And then we finished this space with a beautiful coffee table we got from Wayfair. This was a must-have for my friend as he regularly hosts guests at his home, and they like to hang in his game room the majority of the time, so having a place where they can have drinks and socialize around was pretty much a must. And around the room, we've actually placed several LED lights and light strips to make this room really pop at night. We use more of a budget lighting for him in order to stay within our means. For example, the lights on the TV are from Govee Lighting, and they actually work really, really well and are a good option for those who are actually looking for a cheaper alternative to Philips Hue lights. And they also have light strips, which you can see here on his desk, illuminating the back behind his monitors, and they can be controlled using their app, and you can go from like a warm, neutral lighting setup to a loud, colorful one. There were some issues that we had when we were creating this space, one of which is, like with all projects, sticking to a budget. Buying furniture is expensive, so we had to cut out some of our ideas because, like I said before, he had functional furniture to begin with, and that wasn't a problem putting it into the room. Another was trying to lay out the room. I think I cycled through several designs over and over and over again. Since the room is so small, it's pretty difficult for me to really visualize where I want things and where to place certain items. Eventually, I kind of just adopted the idea of wherever the desk goes, I'll work around it. Lastly was the painting. It took a long time and was exhausting for all of us, but I don't think the room would have worked if we hadn't done that. Nothing would have looked good at all if we didn't do the paint, and as long as it took, it was worth it in the end. With a few finishing touches like art pieces and modeling the figures, we've now finished this space. I think it turned out great. And there were so many times that I just was in a rut and honestly couldn't move forward with any ideas, but with some determination and some tech help from Jimmy, I was able to give him the chill space he more than deserves. He's been very vocal on how much he loves the room, oftentimes even napping in his new space, and really spending more time in it and showing it off. So what did you think of this space? Is this more to your taste, or are you more into an airy open feel? I would love to hear what you all have to say, and I'll be working on the next video really soon. Until then, I'll see you designers in the next video. Bye for now.